Hey guys, it's Saturday, May 18th. I want to go back and look at the past week's price action, show you the new templates that we can get used to it, and talk about some strategies using this template in Blackbird. And I'm going to also show you a new trick in Blackbird on using your own condition with my template or your template or anybody's template. You get a BloodHound signal from a template, maybe in one of those recordings that Zach posts for you every week, and you want to use that but with your own condition. I'll show you how to do it, so just hang tight. First, this is the opening range indicator. The blue is the Globex session, that's pre-market, and the yellow is the 1 hour initial balance of the US session. So price will often use this 1 hour period to show you if price is going to be an extended trading range. It would be outside the 1 hour and outside the Globex. So that might be a strategy for you to consider trading when other conditions are present supporting that directional move. And one way to do it is use the ATR of the breakout bar. So one ATR would 38 points, put you in right where that blue line is, and it did touch it just barely at 11:28, and then it touched it again and broke through it just after lunch. So there was your one ATR. Probably may have gotten up there to a 1.5, not quite, maybe it failed, but definitely one ATR, something to consider. That's on a 3-minute chart. So keep an eye on your ATR. You can see on Friday at the end of the day, the volatility had all but left the market, and it was flat, flat, flat. So Friday was an interesting day. We got the range reversal. That was a nice trade. That was probably the best trade of the day, unless you were trading the breakout. So you could trade that 1 minute range up until you got that reversal condition. The inside reversal versus an outside reversal. And that's on the range. If the price had closed above the range and reversed, that would have been your outside reversal. And putting those outside reversals like on a 30-minute chart, can give you some good trade opportunities on a higher time frame. But let's go back and look real quick at Monday's price action. Monday we gapped down, and so we came back to these gap levels several times. So price basically was frozen between the two pink lines up here. All week it contained price, so we traveled down. Here on Monday we could have just used a trend filter or a 1 minute range or a Globex range. Basically all of them were working on Monday. It was just a directionally down day. And again, when you get outside a range, you can see those reversals. So you may want to wait for that bar to turn around on a higher time frame going back down. But overall, Monday was a trend day. Tuesday, no trend, just inside range, up and down. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we get into Thursday, and Wednesday was a big up day, and Thursday sort of sideways and up, but a trending condition. So again, how to trade these is whether you're going to leave the 1 minute range, a 30-minute range, however you want to trade it, and or a 60-minute range. The 30-minute range is a very popular trading methodology, especially with a 30-minute chart. Okay, and you can see that we got a signal very late in the day. On Friday we were out of time, but we were trapped by the gap. And I should have made those lines thicker. Let me do that so we can see this. It's important for you to check this out. So let me make these lines really big, thick. So here was Sunday, and we stayed underneath the gap, traded back up to it. It was like hitting a wall, bounced off, and then finally broke through it. But what happened when we got on top? We reversed. It reversed. So we are still in that reversal, have not come out of that reversal, and we're still holding that range. So the algos know exactly where they are. Just be careful. There was very low volatility, and especially when you're inside these Globex ranges, it can and will roll over you several times as it goes flat and sideways. Just very difficult unless you're picking your entries, right? So just using this on different time frames so that you can see how price responds to these levels. They make great support resistance areas, and recognizing the JATS LRT lines indicator shows you also usually the boundary of that main trend line, the LR1, that balances the trend on your chart. So if you're trading below that trend line, you might want to be looking for shorts. If you're trading above it, you might want to be looking for longs, especially if you have other conditions in place. So that's all very well and good. So I've given you now the ability to trade when price breaks out of these levels. So if you want to trade a Globex breakout, I've got you a template for that. Now, what if you want to trade this Globex range breakout, but on a smaller time frame chart with another signal condition? You can do that. You can mix your conditions. So like you could come up with another chart that said, I want the 60-minute bar to be in my direction, or I want a moving average crossover. You can create your own BloodHound template and put that in Blackbird as a condition. And I'll show you how to set that up real quick. It just takes a second. So you put Shark Indicators Blackbird on your chart, enable it, make sure it's in your SIM account for testing. Click your order settings button. That will give you your platform. You get your signal, click on that box, click back in it, hit your ellipses, and you can select the template that you want to take your signals from. So I just put the black box algo template, and now I can select one of those solvers. So say I want to trade the Globex range, right? And I need a market order or a limit order. When you click on market order, that blue box, it will give you a second dialog box, and there's something that says place after. And ordinarily you would just want the signal when the signal first appeared on the bar close, right? You get a bar close, you're going to get a signal, but you can condition that signal to not only be on the bar close, but you can set just an indicator value here, price versus the 200 EMA. You can set that up so that the price is above the 200. A close would be above or below the 200 EMA. You can set it up there. You can put it on a different indicator, like the JATS LRT lines indicator. You can say, I only want these if I'm above or below, above the LR1. Or you can make your own BloodHound template, and that's all the way down at the bottom. There's other things that you can, it's just amazing all the things that you can do. So you can collect BloodHound signal, come in here and select a different template. So if you wanted that 60-minute condition, you can come in here, drop a 60-minute chart, put your open or close here, create a signal, there you go, and there you go. And so that would mean that these signals up here now, where you normally would get an execution, will be delayed and placed after the logic signal from your second BloodHound signal condition is present. So one thing you have to be aware of is anything on a 60-minute bar condition you're going to get on that lower time frame chart. So if you put this on a 15-minute, for instance, the 60-minute would have to close first to give you the signal. So you could theoretically have a range breakout on the 15-minute chart without that 60-minute condition being present, so you would miss a portion of that breakout if you required a 60-minute close, for instance. So just keep that in mind. You get what you ask for. So but maybe you want to trade trend conditions only instead of breakouts with that 60-minute condition on it. So you could put the bar on trend, and that would have nothing to do with the opening range indicator. It would just be, get me in the market when a trend is present. Put your minimum risk and stop loss on here, set it up with the trailing stop. But here's your magic. You can actually come in here and say, stop trading after $500 is made, enforce during live trading. Get in and get out of the markets, or limit my winning trades and losing trades, or max number of trades, stop trading after 3 trades. You can tell it precisely how much money to lose and enforce during live trading, so that would override the actual bar closing, so you can actually get out a little bit earlier. You can set it for your parameters to your account size, or set the risk, say never risk more than $400 or 2% of my account. Risk per trade, 2% of my account. So you can set the account size here, 2% of the account, or fixed amount, $200, $300. And limit your risk per trade here. You can also enable a watermark by saying, after I earned $1,000, stop trading if I lose $250. Otherwise, keep it going. If it's still going, then that's great. So keep going. Just have a watermark in case it comes back. You won't lose any more than $250. So you can create your own parameters for whatever you want. You don't have to restrict yourself to a maximum profit, but if you're just testing a strategy out, maybe that would be a benchmark that would be helpful for you to use. I kind of like the idea of building an account slowly. So maybe, go in and say, I have a strategy. Um, I want to get $200 every day, every trading day. So 20 times 2, right? And that'll work. So something simple, and then you can build. But several different strategies to use. That would be up to your own individual risk parameters. But do keep in mind that you are able to come back in here in the Blackbird platform and tell the platform when to execute your condition by putting in a secondary um, condition or creating a moving average crossover or something like that. If you want the weekly, daily 60-15 to be all the same color, I can, you can set up your own whatever. But like I said, be careful you get what you code, and if you code those on those higher time frames, like weekly, daily, if you want a weekly, signal, sometimes that would, require 40 weeks. That's a lot of data to be asking a small tick chart to be processing. And it might, if you're going after 10 ticks, don't use the strategies that is using a weekly candle, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Reserve those weekly, daily charts to something like trading a 30-minute chart or 60-minute chart. All right, I appreciate it. See you guys in the trade room next week. Stop by the website, stop by Shark Indicators, pick up BloodHound, and start trading next week. Thank you very much.